coming. It looks like rain is just starting. So the way that this session is going to work is that it's giving you quite a lot of context behind it, and also what we are actually looking for with these projects. There's been a lot of really hard work. But really carry on. So even if you're not necessarily thinking about applying to the fundamentals of this project, it's something that I really opportunities to really learn about it very well. Especially museums. After Louise has spoken, I'm going to be doing a bit of a presentation as well about the application form and yes.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming. So my name is Louise Campion. Hopefully most people know who I am, and I'm the Learning and Community Engagement Officer here. So what I wanted to start with is just thinking about mental health, and in the press recently, increasingly there's a dialogue about mental health in the press and certainly in the NHS, and there's beginning to be a conversation about parity of esteem, the idea that your physical health, your mental health piece is important, and we should put resources into thinking about people's mental health as much as we do about their physical health. And really think statistic, one in 4 people in the UK have experienced mental health problems each year. That's phenomenal. And I think it's true to say that for most of us, if we reflect back, at some point in our life, we may have experienced some kind of mental health issue. It could be depression, it could be anxiety, it could be that you had a panic attack, any one of those things. Obviously, there are different levels of mental health issues going towards very severe mental health issues, but there's very common things that we can grasp in this area, like panic attacks or anxiety, that I think a lot of us could empathise with. And actually, really recently as well, as being, I don't know if anybody else is looking at it, young people, and looking at particularly girls, and just rising levels of depression in young people as well. Now, this project focuses on adults, so we're talking about over 18, but it is a whole other area as well, but it's all about mental health. So, going alongside this growing recognition about the importance of thinking about mental health, there's also been increasing studies and projects in museums and arts institutions, whereby usually provision and art therapy and those kind of activities are done within health sectors, but increasingly health organisations, NHS and larger bodies are thinking about partnering with museums and other public organisations. And this is an example, museums on prescription, of a 3-year research project which is happening at the moment. I think it's sort of based, there's a lot of work going on in Manchester at the Whitworth. I've been up to Whitworth and seen what they're doing. And what is happening there is they're looking and they're trying to build an evidence base for kind of positive experiences that people gain from engaging with museums. And the evidence so far that we've seen is positive social experiences, opportunities for learning. Museums can be very calm places. The hall is fantastic, it's free. Anyone can walk into the museum, be in the galleries, and without anyone asking them what they're doing or what they're interested in or anything, they can walk around and they can look. And it is very quiet. It's a very quiet atmosphere, and actually in our busy lives, it's quite hard to find those places now. And they found so far that people who engage with people with somebody about feeling inquisitive, that they increase their self-esteem, and the idea of meaningful activities as well. So really it's something that you feel is important. So that is a little bit of background about some of the research that's going on at the moment nationally in the country, and they'll be reporting back. And the idea of museums on prescription is an idea of social prescribing. So whereas when you go to the doctor, you might be prescribed medicine, the idea that we are moving beyond just treating particular issues with medicalising them and actually prescribing things like art or visiting museums or joining a group. So that's the idea of social prescribing, and museums and prescription is part of that. So that just hopefully gives you a bit of background. At the Holborn, as we all know, our vision is changing lives through art. And this has really been leading us to be involved in some really exciting and actually groundbreaking work, because although there is this recognition, it's just starting really. And I would say that the Holborn has actually been sort of quite visionary in this, because the Holborn for many, many years has supported a European Garden and Art Group, which I'm with that. But from 2013, we've been working in partnership with the American Museum and Art Preservation Trust. The Art Preservation Trust has #1 Royal Crescent, it has the Nova, Beckford's Tower, the Herschel Museum, all those museums under the Art Preservation Trust. Working in partnership, and we were really lucky to get our Arts Council funding to the Community Engagement Project, where we started working with quite a few different groups. But one of the groups we were working with was centred around mental health and well-being, and that grew into a project called Fresh Art, which I'll tell you about. And since then, we have been funded by the Community to sort of carry on this work, to expand our work with the Garden Lodge Art Group, and to start some new projects, which this is one of them. So we're really delighted to get this new funding, and this project is called Pathways to Wellbeing, and we will continue to work with our partners, and we're the lead in this. So a lot of the work will happen here or be linked with our collection, but some of it will be in other museums as well. So Pathways to Wellbeing. So we have 4 pathways. We have Garden Lodge Art Group, which I will talk a little bit more about. We have just started Image, which is a new group for people who might have come to the Garden Lodge Art Group, but now are much more confident and really want to run their own group, but want to carry on their connection with the museums. So that group has just started recently. Fresh Art, which came out of the Arts Council money, that funding, which I'll tell you more about, and the last one, which is the one that you, if you would like to, could be involved in, Pathways to Volunteering. So I'm just going to tell you a bit about two of these, and then I'll tell you about Pathways to Volunteering. First of all, the Garden Sodge Art Group. So this particular group has, in one way or another, been funded by the Holborn for many years. I think it's probably about 7 or 8 years. And it originated because quite a lot of rough sleepers, as you have probably noticed in Bath, but particularly New City Gardens. And it was felt that the Holborn shares a space with those people, really, and yet there was no connection between the Holborn and the people that maybe were sleeping rough or spending time in City Gardens. So the idea was that an outreach worker went to the night shelter on Manvers Street and did some art, and then some of the people that were going there started coming to the museum, and some of them were very artistic, and a group was formed and they created art in the lodge. And that's the sort of the beginning, and then it's grown since that point. And I just got to visit you so you can see what's sort of happened. So this is all in the garden field, and these photos are quite interesting. So usually there's about 12 people that come. They've all been referred, so they will have been referred, so good describing, from they could be from the community at the IU, right? It could be from Genesis Trust or Julian House, or lots of different organisations that refer people. And they're all people who have lived experience with mental health issues, some of them have been homeless, or very, very socially isolated, or and lonely. So about 12 people usually, and we do lots of different projects. So they usually last about 6 weeks, and we will have an artist of who leads the project, and we'll often base it on an exhibition, or it could be we're looking at the collection. The right curators might talk to people who know their community. So here, this is an artist who this is a very proud, wonderful ceramic. It's just come out of the kiln, and she's so pleased with it. I don't know if you have the glazes, but you never quite know how the glaze is going to come out. And this is good making. This is a and this is lots of different kind of art skills. And the idea is that people can get together in a safe environment, supportive, because everybody that comes knows that everybody else understands and has some kind of shared life experience with them. It's not an art therapy, I'm not an art therapist, I'm not trained as an art therapist, it's a creative group. People don't only talk about their mental health. Sometimes it comes up, but that's not really the focus. The focus is art, creativity, and the museum, and being inspired by the museum. This is a very interesting project we did, where we looked at some of the portraits, and then people produced their own interpretations. With the added sort of expertise of Bath University, one of their pharmacology colleagues who works on neuroscience, so looking at the brain, and what they're doing pioneering work about mental health issues, and they're looking at the brain, and actually the scanning brains and looking at developing medicines and seeing if other alternative therapies have an effect on the actual brain. It's really interesting looking at neural networks. And so she gets a lot of imagery which then inspired some people to sort of create purpose. And this is actually and this is Natasha's interpretation of this boy, and she wrote a lot. She wrote a lot about him and his feelings. And there were about 12 portraits that were made, and they were so fantastic. But the end, here's another piece that's sort of that this is more abstract piece, but again inspired by looking at that scientific data and imagery. We ended up going to the National Portrait Gallery and basically giving a paper about his work. And most of the people were and it was a transformative experience for some of the group, because I don't think they thought they could do this, but they got a lot of very positive feedback from medical support within the public. So that's fantastic. So that just gives you a feel for the driver's seat. And I talked about another project which would be funded by the Arts Council. This is called Fresh Arts, and this is another part of Pathways. And the idea behind this is we are working with Able and Wiltshire Mental Health Partnership and Creativity Works. So it's this real health and partnership working together. And the idea behind this project is basically that in some of the wards, this is building and the environment is stimulated. And actually somebody that had spent time as a patient in the ward said we would like to have a child in the ward. And so from that came an idea of starting a group which would eat at the different museums and produce art inspired by the things that they hear, and that would then donate a piece of work which would then go back into the wards and display there. And it was for all sorts of people who had experienced mental health issues, and so in their way they giving back. And this project started in the first year, the work went into the group, but then we also created work for all issues that eventually tested you, Barton's Garden, and each year another project, and the work goes back into another setting. So this is really up actually part of this work we go out, so it's not just people coming here, we go into the wards and we do focus on the kids. Not waking upstairs, this is a Campion collection, so we're so yeah, I took up the work here. It's fantastic because some of the people that were there, the elderly, it brought up memories, people talking about regiments that they could see, or it's very easy to be recognisable. And it was just full of conversations, and then we had a lot of art material, so people could respond to those things. And that artwork also was very visible as well. So people actually on board, their families, or they have somebody visiting them, that people work as well. And so that is Fresh Art. And Fresh Art has its own support worker So the idea for this pathway is that we will have 5 Holborn Museum volunteers who will become wellbeing mentors, and our programme is in order to support those 5 people, whoever they may be, is that we want to train you to support 5 mentees. So it would be 1 mentor, 1 mentee. And in order to enable you to become a mentor, we put together a really comprehensive training course. And this would be over a day, really. And we have got Jamie Luck, who is the director of Mentoring Plus. I don't know if anybody knows about Mentoring Plus or has heard about it. Mentoring Plus is an organisation which trains mentors to support young people who are maybe at risk of offending or having problems at school or in terms of the family network, and they train mentors who will be with those young people. He's inspirational. He knows more about mentoring than anyone else I know, and I'm so delighted that he is going to come and share his knowledge. We also have Mind. I have been on one of Mind's training courses, and it is called Mental Health First Aid, and it was so useful and good that I have asked them to come and do our training, and they will look at how you recognise common issues, things like when somebody's having a panic attack or if someone is home, and more importantly, what to do if somebody does present in that way. It's so practical that there is so much to do. So we have that, and then after we also have safeguarding and boundaries, and that's really just thinking about when you're working with people, how much you share about yourself, or just being aware of your own boundaries. Now, this training program is very comprehensive. I think that in terms of the mentors, so the people that will be wanting to come and be a participant in this, most of those people have already had people that have expressed an interest. You probably, when you meet them, would ever in a million years think that they have ever experienced any kind of mental health at all. And probably, for most of the time when you're working with them, practically maybe all the time, wouldn't know. So you need to be more aware of. And I think most people do in life in general, often you might be with somebody and then you might just work out how they're feeling, what's going on with them, and kind of, I'm not quite sure. This may just help that. So really, a lot of this is useful for everyone, whether, it's in life, really. So that's the training. The idea is that as a mentor, you would then decide on when your shift is, when you're volunteering here, and make an arrangement with your mentee that they would come to the museum and meet you for that shift. And then that would be every 6 weeks. And during that time, you support them to identify an objective of the action that they will really be doing, or it might just be an area, it might be a room, and talk to them about what they want to research. And and then they are going to be asked you be able to develop a presentation, a tool, or some kind of creative engagement idea about that object or that space. And so you can say signpost them, tell them where they could find out information, because you know, having all these volunteers to share your knowledge of the collection. You know, you spend a lot of time with it, and you know things that they don't know. And also, your experience of engaging with the general public probably know the kind of questions people ask, or how to hook somebody in, or, you know, ways in to engage with people, because you won't be doing it. But for them, they won't know those things. So we've got so much to share, I think, with the mentees. And then also just to help them, just to help them and talk to them about how they're researching, and maybe to sort of say, oh, what have you done this week? Find anything out, and sort of keep them on track and ask them. And then you have some opportunities, which means that for one of your sessions, there will be an artist working alongside this project who could spend one session with you and your mentee to think about creative ways of exploring that object in that room. So that might be quite interesting for you as well as your mentee. Oh, how would an artist look at this? And they will help explore in that way as well. And you also be able to have access to the curators, so that either Bina or Catherine will give you some time as a pair to actually ask any questions about this object or this space, so that really build up with both you and your mentee the knowledge that you need. So that's the basic project. That's the idea behind it. I suppose I wanted to just show this slide because it's next to the American on its own. This was developed with Duncan sort of slightly serious material. I think it relates to everything I've just talked about. Basically, they would formulate very simple way of talking about well-being with a humour with this, which is often put onto various well-being quotes. And I just think that each one of these shares with you connected is about connecting with value. I think a lot of us take it for granted that we have around us, family, friends, children, grandchildren, but for some people they don't have those networks. So when they go home, they really don't see anyone else. And so this program, they will be doing that because they have a routine and usually that will be a big thing in their week. People that come to the garden club look forward to Wednesday, it's in their garden, they know they meet people, they know it's a social week. So for those mentees, it will be about all about connecting with you, but also the museum, the artists, the curators, all those things. It's a new opportunity. And as we all know, it's so important to have those networks. So this is a way to build them. And for many people, to have a connection with the whole volunteering body as well. You don't really be active, but actually getting out and coming here and walking around, that is active. You know, that is getting out. Take notice. This is huge. Be curious. Outside of the beautiful. For a lot of people, just stopping and actually sort of noticing things, and you will help your mentee to do that. And really focusing. Sometimes I kind of find when I'm walking around the museum, and I know with big exhibitions, it sort of bombards you, but if you focus in on one object, it can be really, you sort of, the more you find out, the more interesting it becomes. So take the notice of being curious. I know depression sort of robs you of that very much, because you sort of lose the sense of being able to look out. So this is very important, and by mentoring somebody and helping them to do that, it's a great thing. Keep learning. Learning stimulates your brain. It's about looking out, not looking in. So again, and the last one here, obviously, signing up to be a mentor, you're giving your knowledge, your life experience, your attention, your time. You already give by volunteering here, but if you want to think about giving in a different way, this is a way to give to 5 mentees and 5 people that want to become volunteers but haven't quite got the confidence or don't feel that they're able to just come like you did and sign up and say I'll volunteer. They need a little bit of support before they do that. But also for the people that the mentees, once they do their presentation, they will also have that lovely feeling of giving, because potentially all their presentations and their tools have been used and thinking about other people, thinking about how to engage with people. So that's just walking with what you would be giving. And lastly, I just want to say recognises this. I know it's quite strange when you first look at it. It's a flora. I don't know if any of you've seen a kind of quite a tall, slim man that sometimes comes into the museum with a tablet. He used to have a phone. I don't know if anybody's seen him. He was part of the Garden for Photography, and he creates all his art digitally. So this was made on a tablet. He drew it. He stood up in the gallery and drew it from Laura. And like this, which is another piece of his work, it's called Andrew, and it's the same person, and he did Garden for Adulthood for a few years. He's now actually supporting that group, so he's working with him, supporting other people that come with that group. But this image he created was, is it alright to say this? We piloted it last year as a trial, and this year we're going for it, but it's like a year to like track. But he is absolutely like, but it just shows the journey that somebody can have, and also how much you give back. If you want to know any more, then do get in contact with me. My office is just up my desk. But just to say that if you having reflected on everything I've said, think, yeah, I would like to do that. I want, and I know that Josh and Spencer, we all discussed this, we will completely support you in this. We've got the capacity to do it thanks to Big Lottery. So we will be there, and when you're meeting your mentors, Josh or I will always be around the barrel. If it's okay, and we will always be on hand if you have any questions or issues. So it's a fully supported role. And I think it's mentioned that at the end of the 6 months, we have a celebration event where all those
conversations. But yeah, if you want to.